Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, ma'am. Good morning. How are you doing, ma'am? I hope you are in good health today. Thank you so much for lending use the time and place to do our presentation on my report achievements. Well, before I present my report, I will introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Hanif. I'm from 3C D3 Electronic. My number name 19010411051. Okay, here the report that will be printed now is entitled How to Practice and Dripping and Scratching. Okay, one summary. Pointing and scratching is one of the practical material learned. The advantage in studying and practicing this material is that the material is will continue to be used in future practice. And the strokes must be sufficiently sloped from the patch of the scraping assistant, such a roller, square, or so on, so that the resulting line is not blurry and there is not measurement errors. Press the scratching tool a bit firmly with the workpiece as well as drawing a line with one pull, so that the linearly resulting image is not shaded and does not occur double. Testing is the next practical material that is carried out in mechanic works. The testing is usually done from right to left before hitting the stamping on the workpiece so that the bottom of the stamp touches the surface of the workpiece, and at the time of beating down once properly and correctly so that the resulting image perfect for what I wanted. In the process of doing the testing, it's very important to do it on a smooth and strong foundation, because if carried out on a rough, and soft beds, the workpiece we have will be damaged. Introduction 1.1 Background. The background for doing this band work practice is to train practice of students, especially students majoring in electrical engineering, study program electronic engineering, which will go directly to the field and the time of work. Therefore, it is hoped that students can practice patterns which of course and assist students in the work. On this occasion, students are required to practice course bench work mechanic works for semester 1, which in the practice has been. This is very helpful for fostering a sense of discipline and patterns in students do the workshop work. Today's technology expenses for to use to work more disciplined and able to work under pressure. Therefore, by doing this bench work practice, it, it is hoped that students can be trained to can work more disciplined and more patterns. So to support the above, it's hope that work practice wake up in semester 1 student who will face technological advances and participate in building high potential human resource process a skill that is beneficial to society. 1.2 Purpose and Benefits. This workshop work practice is very useful for practitioner because in this workshop work practice student can find out various kind of equipment used and how to use them, and also know the function of the tool. In the workshop work practice, students are also trained to be disciplined and at work. Know the importance of work safety and practice pattern at work. The objective of providing practical workshop courses are: 1. Cultivate a sense of patterns and discipline in very worker in practice mechanical workshop and outside the workshop. 2. Teach students to know how to scratch and point at object work. 3. Students can know the function and use of stretching and dripping. 4. Students can know the proper and correct way of saving the workpiece. 5. Students can know the function and use of the saw when we work on the workpiece in the workshop. 7. Students can know the function and use of the file when we work off the workpiece in the workshop. Eight, they teach students to know how to use an electric drill by following the correct instruction and instruction. 9, students can find out the function and use of the electric drill when we work on the workpiece in the workshop. 10, students can know the function and use of stamping, tap and countering when working on workpiece in the workshop. Procedure 1.2.1 Tools and Ingredients. Ingredient is tool elise, scratch, dropper, flat file 10, flat file egg, spearing terms, measure brush. And main ingredient list are iron plate 120 and 19 millimeter with a thickness of 2 millimeter. Sandpaper iron, lubricants, iron plates 120 19 millimeter with a thickness of 2 millimeter. Sandpaper iron. The next step 2.2 step work. Before starting work, you should pay attention to the following instruction given by instructor. A. List of the tool and material to be used. B. The circuit drawing and the actual shape are followed or attached. C. Word step. And D. Control during practice. The working steps are as follows. The initial work step that we must do is prepare all the components and equipment needed. Some of the steps that are generally taken when draping and stretching are 1. Cut iron plates believable with the size 120 millimeter and 19 millimeter and 1.75 millimeter carefully and thoroughly. 2. Then place the workpiece on the face, file all four sides of the plate using a fine file until all four sides are aligned and symmetrical according to the length of 19 millimeter and width of 120 millimeter. 3. If you have finished filling, make a mark to be structured according to the size you want is one the spiced job. Then make assist on the workpiece according with jobs. 4. Next scratch the workpiece that has been marked and then draw a line axis. Then at the point according to a predetermined size. 5. To make a circle on the workpiece, use a spring clamp. Previously make to make it eraser. Should be more careful so that a perfect circle is formed. 6. After making a cycle, make points on the workpiece according to job sheet using a rule and pen. And 7. The last step, connect each dot using a scrape. Be careful in the process of scratching so that the scratch does not divide. And result, this is the picture dip and scratch. Conclusion. Based on the practice that have been carried out and the description made in this report, the following conclusion can be drawn. On point, practitioner can find out closely about work safety directly. Practitioner can find out closely about electronic workshop organization. 3. Practitioner and can train concentrate on workshop practice. 4. Practitioner can recognize and use technical equipment properly according to their respective function and use. Then point the point use and right measuring instruments such as calipers etc. Use of file on flat and round smooth surface, scrapers, pins. Use of cutting, folding and drilling machine. Use of the other tools in the workshop. Then 5. When student a practitioner become diligent and pattern discipline skilled in the various job. Then this is my references. Okay, here that's my present this time. Thank you for our attention. If there something wrong and what I'm sorry. Then thank you very much for to Miss Niwayuni. Then Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.